This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. The Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky has started a DMR-net every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Brandmeister Kentucky Aries Talk Group 31211. They invite all hams interested in emergency communications to join them.
HET, net control for the weekly amateur radio emergency team of Northern Kentucky's DMR net on Talk Group 31211. The net starts at 1400 hours every Sunday. My personal call is WA9SAW, and I am located near Worthville, Kentucky. Before we begin, I have a few announcements. The amateur radio emergency team of Northern Kentucky meets the fourth Monday night of every odd month at 1900 hours. Our meeting location is at the Bethesda Community Church at 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You are invited to join us to help in preparation for emergency communications and become part of this great group. Also, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club meets at this same location every third Monday night of every month, also at 1900 hours. This also is a very exciting club, and we highly recommend you come and be a part of this great opportunity to fellowship with other amateur radio operators. The purpose of this net is to increase the readiness of local amateur radio operators and their equipment in the event of a communications emergency and broadcast information of interest to the amateur community. This is a directed net, and all communications must be directed by net control. All stations are encouraged to check in with us. Please state your call sign twice and at least one time phonetically, followed by your location. Thank you for participation in this very first net on DMR, Talk Group 31211. We are now open for check-ins.
AY4DR, Kilo Yankee 4, Delta Romeo, Dave in Lexington, Kentucky. No traffic.
The first net was a great success with several check-ins thanks to the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky. Have you ever attended a gravel rally? Well, it is a very exciting event, but can you imagine how much fun it would be if you were part of the gravel rally team providing amateur radio communications? Well, again this year, the Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association will be handling the communications for the McCreary Gravel Rally event, April 25th and 26th, and they're looking for amateur radio operators to volunteer to assist in this event. Amateur radio operators, besides Kentucky operators, come from Virginia and Indiana. Ain't just a few, because this is such a neat event to participate in. The Elcara has a great setup for this event, and therefore you would need to bring at least one mobile or handheld radio. They can help you program in their crossband repeater frequencies that they use for the event. Bring enough battery power to last the entire day. If you do not have a radio, contact Mike, KY6MM, and they may be able to provide a loaner for the event. They also suggest that you bring some snacks and drinks to last you the whole day. If you're interested or would like to volunteer, please email Mike, KY6MM, at KY6MM@ARRL.net. And for more information on the gravel rally, go to McCrearyGravelRally.com. Are you a ham radio operator between the age of 11 and 21 and interested in going to the Dayton Hamvention? Well, you can sign up for the ARRL Youth Rally at the Dayton Hamvention, which is an amazing event which provides a number of hands-on activities for young ham. There will be an on-air sprint, contacts with a parachute mobile station, a kit build in the youth lounge, and a fox hunt. Advanced registration is recommended. For more information, go to ARRL 2025 Youth Rally Registration on ARRL.org. The Youngstown State University College of STEM will host a free Radio Day STEM event for 5th through 8th grade students on Saturday, April 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Williamson Innovation Park, 8399 Tippecanoe Road in Canfield, Ohio. For more information, go to tiny.cc/YSU-radio-day. Your favorite podcast? Well, maybe your second favorite to the AB4WS radio show. Ham Talk Live is coming back for a couple special episodes. Yes, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, is bringing back Ham Talk Live for a couple special podcasts. First, on Tuesday, April 8th, live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, he'll have Lee Height, K8CLI, on to talk about all the new renovations to the Voice of America Museum and about their special tours they will be giving during Hamvention Weekend. weekend. Then on Thursday, May 15th, Neil will tell us all about the activities of Hamvention 2025 on the Hamvention Eve program, which is always a favorite. You can listen live on hamtalklive.com or catch it on demand on your favorite podcast application or YouTube. Paddle Fest will be held on the weekend of August 2nd, and they're looking for some amateur radio volunteers to assist in managing and deploying FRS radios to be used during this year's event. If you would like to volunteer to help out, please contact Rick Calderman, KD4PYR, at KD4PYR at Fuse.net. Steve, NATFD, is looking for volunteers to help with the communications at the Flying Pig Marathon event. Friday night, May 2nd, is the 1-mile race. Saturday, May 3rd, is the 10K, 5K. And on Sunday, May 4th, is the full marathon, half marathon, and relay. If you're interested in helping out at this great event, contact Steve, NATFD, at NATFD at Fuse.net, or give him a call at 859-393-6563. Amateur radio volunteers are needed to help with the Xenia Marathon, half marathon, and 10K races that will be held on Sunday, April 6th, starting at 8 a.m. These amateur radio volunteers will provide communications assistance along the course, reporting the progress of race leaders, race information, assist in communicating injuries and need for assistance, and logistical issues that develop, assisting the race marshals. To volunteer, you will need a 2-meter transceiver with a decent antenna and spare batteries. An earpiece is also recommended. They'll be using the X-Horn repeater of 147.165 with a PL tone of 123.0. If you need a transceiver, they may be able to assist with the loaner for the event. If you are interested, please contact Bob Baker, N8ADO, at n8ADO.bob@gmail.com. Are you a young ham radio operator and interested in becoming part of a remote DXpedition? Well, Youth on the Air is presenting an opportunity for youth to operate a DX station remotely from October 16th through October 28th. For more information, go to youthontheair.org. The Amateur Radio Emergency Team in Northern Kentucky is starting a weekly net on Sunday afternoon at 1400 hours Eastern Time on Brandmeister DMR 31211, the Kentucky Area's talk group. If you're interested in emergency communications, come on in and join in on the net. April 6th is the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club monthly Simplex Net on the 146.580 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which is always held on the first Sunday of the month. They invite any licensed amateur radio operator to join them by checking in. Perhaps you cannot hear the net control station at your location. Well, no problem. Just listen, and eventually you will hear a station who will then take your check-in and relay it into the net control. The net starts by stations who can hear the net control. Then each of those stations put out calls and take check-ins from stations who can hear them. And then the next set of check-ins will be asked to put out calls and take check-ins for stations that can hear their station. After the net, you then post who you were able to hear in your net report on the nkarcgroups.io page. This is an effective way to test your equipment and learn how you can use your equipment if something should happen that the repeaters are off the air. It's a great training opportunity. So on the first Sunday of every month at 6 p.m., tune those radios to 146.580 and join in on the fun. The Brunch Bunch will be meeting on April 12th at 1 p.m. at Sugar and Spice, 4381 Reading Road, next door to Cincinnati Fire Department Station Number 9. The Monix Group will be meeting on April 19th at 6 p.m. at the Donato's Pizza on Donnemar Drive in Bellevue, Kentucky. Would you like to see what your fellow amateur radio operators have put together as their Go Kits for portable operations? Or perhaps you've put together a Go Kit for portable operations and would like to share your experience with others? Well, come on out to the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club meeting on April 21st at 7 p.m., where there'll be a group effort presentation called Show and Tell, Show Us Your Portable Go Kit or Favorite HT. Participants will be asked to explain their Go Kit and the reasons why they chose the equipment they did and on what occasions they've utilized their equipment and lessons they've learned from that experience. This is always a huge learning experience for everyone. So come on out to the Bethesda Community Church, 989 in East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky on April 21st at 7 p.m. And bring your Go Kit too. The Okayan Amateur Radio Society will be meeting on May 6th at 7:30 p.m. at the Lachlan Church of the Nazarene, 335 West Wyoming Avenue in Lachlan, Ohio, where they'll hold an election for officers. The Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold a Club Parks on the Air event on May 10th at the Big Bone Lick State Historic Site, US 3779. If you're interested in ham radio, HF radio, or Parks on the Air, come on out and see what all the fun is about with POTA. The Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association is inviting clubs to participate in their Northeast Ohio Multi-Club Parks on the Air POTA event on Saturday, May 31st, 2025. This event is geared to promote ham radio, your club, and Parks on the Air, and to encourage club collaboration. It's not only fun, but easy to do as well. For information or to sign up for the event, go to w8wky.org/NEO-POTA. If your club is interested in participating, please contact Josh Van Dyke at KE8VKA@gmail.com. Do you know how to send a radiogram? Well, on June 2nd at 7 p.m., the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky at the Bethesda Community Church at 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky, Al WB8RGE will be doing a presentation with some hands-on on how to send and handle a radiogram. So come on out to the meeting and learn how to handle amateur radio traffic. You never know when you may need to handle a radiogram, so this training will be applicable to all ham radio operators. So come on out and learn.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com. David 84cc continues to work on and improve the WW4KY repeaters, now located in Walton, Kentucky. The WW4KY D-Star repeater on 145.420 is currently being tested in analog with a PL tone of 123.0 to work out the bug. The receiver has been significantly improved. If you get a chance to have a QSO on it, please report your experience and your signal reports with power and antenna location information. Eventually, it will be brought back on D-Star. A group in Corydon, Indiana, who are running the 146.820 repeater are reaching out for support to fund the repeater. The repeater has been a staple of the amateur radio community in the surrounding area of Corydon, Indiana for many years, provided by a generous ham operator who can no longer support the repeater. Those interested in supporting this repeater and keeping it going are encouraged to support the program financially through a GoFundMe page that has been set up to finance acquisition of the repeater, building the site, and ongoing operation and maintenance costs. If you are interested in supporting this venture, reach out to J.R. Eckert, KB9JLE.
Hamfest.
The 69th Annual Hamfest Electronic and Computer Show will be held on April 5th, 2025 at the Medio & Sons Party Center, 48 East Bath Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information, go to cfarc-hamfest.org. Also on April 5th is the E-Town Hamfest at the State Fire and Rescue Training Facility, 630 College Street Road in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Talking on the 146.980 repeater. April 26th is the Tusco Amateur Radio Club 2025 Hamfest Computer and Electronics Show at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio. For more information, go to w8zx.net/hamfest. On April 27th is the Athens Hamfest at the Athens Community Center, 701 East State Street in Athens, Ohio. For more information, go to ac-ara.org. On May 10th through May 15th is the RV Radio Network Rally at the Baylor Beach Park, 8777 Manchester Avenue Southwest in Navarro, Ohio. Talk in on 146.52 Simplex. Tickets are now on sale for the Dayton Hamvention, May 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2025 at the Greene County Fairgrounds in Xenia, Ohio. The 2025 theme is Radio Independence, celebrating the evolution and freedom of radio in today's world. For more information, go to hamvention.org. June 7th is the FCARC Summer Hamfest from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Delta American Legion Post 373 on the corner of Ohio 109 and County Road F5939 in Delta, Ohio. August 9th is the Cincinnati Hamfest, sponsored by the Milford Amateur Radio Club at the Claremont County Fairgrounds in Owingsville, Ohio. For more information, go to milfordhamradio.org.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On April 1st, 7 p.m., the Southern Kentucky Amateur Radio Transmitting Society in Logan County, Kentucky will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Logan County Search and Rescue Building, 101 North Thurston Drive in Russellville, Kentucky. Pre-register by emailing Bob, WB2UBW, at RHARRIS283@AT&T.net. On April 5th at noon, the Lake County Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Kirtland Library, 9267 Chillicothe Road in Kirtland, Ohio. For more information, contact Scott Farnham at 440-256-0320. On April 5th at 10 a.m., the Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio testing session at the Sharon Center United Methodist Church, 6407 Ridge Road in Wadsworth, Ohio. Please pre-register at w8wky.org/license-exam or call Stephen Kinsford, 216-702-8384. On April 8th, the Stubblefield Repeater Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at 200 Alpine Drive in Stubblefield, Kentucky. For more information, contact Cecil Harden, K5CPT, at 502-712-3400. On April 10th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH@K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. On April 12th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio testing session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Register by emailing exams@wc8voa.org. On Saturday, April 12th, there will be a W5YI amateur radio exam session at the Clark County EOC, 200 Maryland Avenue in Winchester, Kentucky. Contact Errol Epperson, AC4YD, at 859-771-1834. On April 21st at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by emailing Mark Falstead, AI4BJ@MVOLSTAD@TWC.com. On Saturday, April 26th, there will be an amateur radio exam session at the American Legion, 45 Spears Lane in Danville, Kentucky. Contact Carol Miller, AF6MB, at 541-602-6535. On May 3rd, the Dial Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio testing session at 6 p.m. at 3806 Manchester Road in Middletown, Ohio. Pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions. On May 10th at 10 a.m., there'll be an amateur radio exam session at the American Red Cross, 1450 Newtown Pike in Lexington, Kentucky. Contact Fernie, KE4MAI, at 859-536-3393. On June 10th, the Stubblefield Repeater Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at 200 Alpine Drive in Stubblefield, Kentucky. For more information, contact Cecil Harden, K5CPT, at 502-712-3400. On June 12th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH@K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. On Saturday, June 14th at 10 a.m., there'll be a W5YI amateur radio exam session at the Georgetown Police Department, 550 Bourbon Street in Georgetown, Kentucky. For information, contact Ron Malinowski at 502-542-8252. On August 14th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH@K8WEH@ARRL.net or check in on the K8GE.net website. On October the 9th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH@K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. On December 11th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logan's Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH at K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the KAGE.net website. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: KY6MM, KF8PO, W8WTD, WX4GPS, KN4COE, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.